McAfee is confident that Bitcoin and blockchain technology, which powers the majority of cryptocurrencies, will fundamentally alter our lives. He has been embroiled in controversy for the better part of a decade before his passing. From allegations of murder in Belize to a brief presidential run in the United States, he has since devoted himself to the blockchain industry, charging $105,000 for each tweet to promote various cryptocurrencies. McAfee has counseled or worked with around 17 cryptocurrency startups. But his most recent venture is Docademic, which uses artificial intelligence and blockchain to provide free virtual access to doctors worldwide. Are you new to this channel? Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help us produce more wealth-building content. You can count on Dinero Association to keep you up to date on the latest financial and economic developments. John McAfee's revelation: banks will disappear and crypto will take over. John McAfee is as controversial as Annie Kardashian. His alarming revelations about the potential extinction of banks and the rise of cryptocurrency have alarmed many wealth managers and economic experts. Before we dig deeper, let us recap McAfee's life before his controversial death in his prison cell. John David McAfee was a British-American businessman and computer programmer. He was also a 2016 and 2020 Libertarian Party presidential candidate. McAfee Associates was founded in 1987 to market the world's first commercial antivirus software. He quit and sold the remainder of his stock in 1994. Later, McAfee became the company's most vocal critic, urging users to delete its bloatware antivirus software. He objected to the company's continued use of his name in branding, despite a temporary corporate rebranding under Intel's ownership. After reaching $100 million in 2007, McAfee's fortune plummeted during the financial crisis. After leaving McAfee Associates, he founded Tribal Voice, Quorum X, and Future 10 Central, and led Everykey, MGT Capital Investments, and LuxCore. His hobbies and interests included smartphone apps, Bitcoin, yoga, light sport aircraft, and recreational drugs. He stayed in Belize for several years before returning to the US in 2013 on a murder charge. McAfee was detained in Spain in October 2020 for US tax evasion. A 4-year period of alleged tax evasion led to criminal and civil proceedings against McAfee. After the Spanish National Court granted his extradition to the US, he was found dead in a cell outside Barcelona on June 23, 2021. According to some, the global financial services system will eventually cease to exist as we know it. People are even worrying about the demise of banking due to the newcomers. It is difficult to predict how future banking will appear or what role existing institutions will play in the new world, but it will look very different from what we currently have. One thing is sure, money will continue to move the world in whatever form it takes, necessitating the existence of a financial services sector. We live in a technologically advanced world, and as a result of technology breakthroughs, customers now wield more influence than ever before, affecting virtually every aspect of contemporary society, including their interactions with financial institutions. He referred to the world's 40,000 billionaires and inquired what would happen if each of them desired only one of the 17 million bitcoins available. The number of businesses accepting Bitcoin and people using it is fast increasing. According to pure mathematics, it must soar and fly rapidly. He suggested that Bitcoin will eventually be phased out as the primary payment method. Given the massive user base of Ethereum, regardless of its limitations as a scalable payment system, he asserted that it is all about acceptance, and Bitcoin has undoubtedly been embraced. Gold and paper money, he contended, have no intrinsic worth but have value assumed by the holders. Bitcoin will become the de facto standard. Bitcoin will always be the gold standard, the cash that you can save offline in a wallet and declare, "This is my retirement income," because it is the granddad, it will always be the best. When discussing cryptocurrencies, individuals were urged to use Bitcoin rather than currency. That is the extent to which it is noticeable, he explained. The SEC either has to be abolished or eliminated entirely, said McAfee. He believes it is doing illegally by asserting that initial coin offerings are securities, despite a 1950 Supreme Court ruling designating them as such. Following his 2016 FBI interview, he stated that it looks that SEC Chairman Jay Clayton is averse to meeting with him on the air. McAfee slammed social media companies for behaving like U.S. government sub-agencies and kowtowing to the government. He asserts that Google and Facebook routinely share user data with the CIA and FBI. He stated that they should be flag bearers of individual liberty, distinctiveness, and community, but admitted to yielding to government pressure as well. McAfee has also invited JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon to a conversation. Dimon had referred to Bitcoin as a fraud, but then reversed his position. On the other hand, McAfee believes that Bitcoin is a threat to the global financial infrastructure and that the industry is working to stifle cryptocurrency growth. When Jamie Dimon makes these dramatic statements, he has no understanding of Bitcoin. All he knows is that they pose a risk to his business, which is banking, he remarked. That is something he is fully aware of, and as such, he has a vested interest in eradicating it as quickly as possible. Even though this is implausible, cryptocurrencies are comparable to the opening of Pandora's box. Hey, take a breather there for a moment. If you haven't yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss any of our videos. Why do you think that cryptocurrency has great potential? The rising price of Bitcoin has rekindled interest in private digital cash during the pandemic. While Bitcoin is unlikely to supplant established currencies, the advent of cryptocurrencies and stablecoins has prompted central banks to study digital currency. According to proponents of Bitcoin, it has two advantages over traditional currencies. The first is a limited supply, making it difficult for a central authority to devalue it by large-scale issuance. As a result, it is significantly less susceptible to hyperinflationary crises such as those in Weimar Germany, Zimbabwe, or Venezuela. However, a limited supply may be a disadvantage because deflation is impossible to control, with devastating economic consequences. The second apparent benefit of Bitcoin is that all transactions are irreversible. A bank account holder can theoretically confiscate funds and pretend they never existed. The transaction database utilized by Bitcoin is impenetrable by any central authority. Since Bitcoin is not held by a financial institution, it is often referred to as trustless. Why do people prefer Tether over the US dollar? Buying or selling cryptocurrencies with fiat currency can result in high compliance costs. Traders can avoid these fees by keeping Tethers instead of US dollars. Major financial institutions have avoided dealing with Tether due to concerns about money laundering, and the state of New York is presently investigating the company. Tell us what you think about this video by leaving a comment below. We are Dinero Association, your partner in building wealth.